As a photojournalist, I was traveling more than 30 years, covering most of the time the wars and conflict and all over the world. I realized that the destruction that's happening in this world, it is two different destruction. We have a destructions of the buildings and material destruction, but in the meantime, the main destruction is the destructions of the soul, destructions of the culture and the human relation. And then I realized that most of the NGOs and international institutions, they are only helping to reconstructions of the buildings, not really going further and trying to help the local people to come up out of the trauma of the wars, out of trauma of the conflict that has been through. So for me, there was an answer after years of the thinking about it, and the answer was to train local people to take their own destinies. And this is how the AINA came to life. In the war in Afghanistan, those schools, they were burned, the teachers were killed, and for me, the answer was how I can bring the education to the homes, not letting the people come up because they can't come up. And that was how, by helping Afghan women to create a radio, which is called Afghan Women Voices, and sending the magazine that we did, the material that is printed materials, like we said, it is a children magazine, but in reality is a real family educational tool. And we are sending with three tools, the radio programmings and the magazines to the homes. So that is how you bring the education to the homes, instead of letting people to come out and being targeted by it. So every time I'm trying to find out how image, how media, how trainings could bring a solution for the lack of the education that we have in the world. Most of the time, if you look, the journalists, especially in the case like Afghanistan, there are only men coming and interviewing the Afghan men. So the 50% of the population of those countries, they're almost cut off of the information, of giving information and talking to the world, saying that what they have been through. One of the important things that we did was how we can bring the Afghan women voices and images and stories to the world. Obviously, the best person to tell the story are the Afghan women themselves or any other people on the world, in Rwanda, in Uganda, in refugee camps. So one example that we did was trainings tens of the Afghan women to become filmmakers. And then we give them the best tools, the best education, the best trainings, the best materials, and help them to create the first ever done documentary by Afghan women looking to the Afghan woman's life and what they have been through in the 20 years of the war. The result is astonishing. The result was shown in National Geographic Channel, a documentary 1 hour, in PBS, in French TV, France 5, and more than 20 TV in the world. They have been in all the festivals. And beside this, the first film they have done, those girls, was nominated to Emmy Award. It shows the quality of the works, and it shows because when you have something really to explain to the world, it's go through. The media for the development, I think that is the best tool that we can find in 21st century to empower women and get them through the media to connect to the old people. We are almost in the very beginning of this, what we call it, the revolution, the worldwide revolution, not the street revolution, but the mind revolution, the revolution of the connections, the revolution of the speed. And media, the way that we are using it, the way that we could use it through the internet is going to be the best tool for this. Image is the new universal language. We have to learn how to read it. We have to teach it how to read it. And then through this, we are going to create a global talkings, global connection through the media with all the people.